What's up, world? Cooling, man. Beautiful day out here. Just decided to tap in for the first time, man. Welcome to my page. Welcome to Big's page. Out here in the yard. Just got finished cutting the yard. Look good out here. People barbecuing. Smell good out here. Now that I'm finished cutting the yard and edging it and blowing it and all that, it actually look good out here. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, man. It's the beginning of my page. I really ain't got nothing specific to talk about, but chopping it up with my nephew, and he's like, "Man, get on it. You get your page going. Get on it, man. Get on it." So, asking y'all now to subscribe, man. And got a lot of things we could talk about. Definitely. You know, I made a big transition in my life after doing 7.5 years in the Fed. Easy bid though. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. Hardest part about a bid period is being stripped away from your family. That's the same all across the board, all the way down from the halfway house all the way up to the supermax. You know what I'm saying? That's the real punishment right there. But for the most part, had a cool bid, man. I landed got a 10-year flat conspiracy case, you know what I'm saying? And mandatory minimum, hit me with the 10 ball, sent me down to Terre Haute, Indiana. Started out at the camp down there. Thing wide open too. Wide open. I said, what? This can't be jail. But it was, man. It was. The whole time, that first day, the hardest day of jail, I'm gonna tell you, boy. You be sitting on the stoop, sitting there waiting on somebody to call your name and tell you it was a joke. It was, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you out here, then somebody bailed you out or something, but nah, it never happens. It never happens, man. Never happens. You got to get familiar with all these weirdos and creeps and predators. You got predators of every kind in that thing. But, you know, dudes play a bunch of penitentiary games and medium games and low games, and then you got the camp games. Dudes who never been nowhere. I was a nigga never been nowhere, but I was a dude who never been nowhere. But then you got these Caucasians or whatever, white, blue-collar crimes, whichever one it is. I never got that right. You know, people just in for embezzlements and tax evasions and stuff like that who never even been a part of the street life at all. So now they are living amongst the street element, the street-minded people, the criminal-minded people. And it's a culture shock to them. They don't understand how a person can even think the way that we think. And we looking at them the same way, like, I don't believe you ain't thinking like this. But prison humbles everybody, and, you know, gets to the point where you find a common ground with everybody. Spend time with somebody long enough, you definitely find a common ground with them. You learn what make them tick and all of that. But yeah, man, I started off there. A bunch of cool dudes, man. My brother K-Dog, I actually got a brother from there. K-Dog, Kev, Ace Boogie, Stan, Jose, man, Coop, Modog, Tone, my nigga Baby Bubba, Troll. My whole first room was solid dudes, man. Shorty G. Man, list goes on and on. There's some thousands brothers I ain't even think about right now, but you know, a lot of them dudes there worked their way down, so they was lacing me up, you know, telling me how things go and the do's and the don'ts and understanding the politics of the whole system and how everything goes. So, but it's based on your bid gonna be really on how you carry yourself in that thing. I'm talking about. Luckily, I was a mild-mannered dude on the street. I continue to be a mild-mannered dude while I was on the inside, and I don't do all the lying. I don't do no gambling. I don't got too many vices where I'm smoking and drinking and, you know, all of that. So that kept me out the way of a lot of stuff, period. I wasn't no big TV watcher, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Shot pool, lift weights, played chess, and camped. You know what I'm saying? Just camped real heavy. But eventually camping, oh yeah, and I was in church, you know what I'm saying? So stayed in my word, definitely stayed in my word, stayed in service. And it's crazy how many flashbacks you get in just like that. Like, dang, I forgot about this, that, and the third. But yeah, but it was cool, man. But eventually I ended up catching the phone shot, got caught with my cell phone in jail. They ended up sending me to the hole. Ended up probably supposed to spend like 30 days in there just until I see DHO, you know, catch my little, probably took 41 days of good time from me. And they probably would have normally put me back on the pound. 41 days, good time, gave me a little fine or whatever. But at the time, a bunch of stuff was going on with the inmates and administration to get real mad at stuff inmates was doing. So I kind of was in that first wave of people who was getting made an example of. So ended up getting 41 days taken. Then they took an extra 6 months from me. So that was like 7.5 months of good time I lost. Hit me with a $500 fine. They kicked me out the camp, bumped me up to a low. Then I lost 30 days across the board. No, I'm lying. 180 days across the board. Phone, commissary, visits. Then, which wasn't nothing because at the time I went to the SHU February the 2nd, 2020. So during that 30-day time period, we get on lockdown because the COVID hit. So it was a nationwide BOP shutdown, no inmate movement. So I'm stuck regardless. So end up walking all that 6 month sanction down just by being in the SHU waiting on the travel ban to get lifted. You know what I mean? So it finally happened. All in all, I did like 11 months and 4 days in a hole. Terrible, but it was also the best time of my bid, the best time I ever done, and the worst time at the exact same time, if that makes any sense. Worst time, because it was, and I'm in the hole. That's it. I got a cellie, just me and him, our Bibles. Our bathroom is in our room, so when he dump, I dump. We both got to smell each other's dump, farts and snores and everything, man. And everything about an individual that can annoy you will annoy you. And everything that you do will be annoying to another individual. Okay, how cool y'all is. Because you can't get a break away from each other. You know what I'm saying? So, not to mention, we're only getting 30 minutes a month on the phone. And that was a blessing because it was because of the pandemic that we was getting 30 minutes. Normally it's only 15 minutes, which is one phone call because each phone call is 15 minutes. Supposed to get 15 minutes a month. So me and him, we figured out a way to work the system where we can get 3 phone calls a month at 10 minutes a phone call. So we figured that out, and it kind of helped us out, get us through the month. You know what I'm saying? 4 weeks in a month, we make 1 phone call a week. You know what I'm saying? And struggle it out that last week, wait for your time to get renewed. Then bam, you know. So we was kind of really just doing, we was doing 1 phone call every 10 days. So that kept us in rotation, you know, doing a lot of writing, Bible studying and reading, and we holding church on the door. C unit, baby, Christ unit, you know what I'm saying? Yes, sir, man. Christ-minded ministries. We developed that in there in the SHU. Brother TJ, Brother Cooper, TJ out of Milwaukee. Coop, he out of Detroit. Then I had O with me, he from the hood. He from Detroit with me. Man, some of the brothers, I can't even remember their names now. We had T in there. He was out of Milwaukee, too. Tip. Tip, he was out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Youngin. Chevy. Man, I wonder how Chevy doing. But anyway, that was a part of the good, the Bible study and the holding church every night on the door, and right after 9 o'clock count, we holding church. So definitely building my relationship with God. That made it completely strong as it ever been in my life, man. So that was the beautiful part about being in the hole. Second beautiful part was I had lost 80 pounds. Because I was like 323 pounds when I went in there. I left out of there like 240, something like that. So lost a little over 80 pounds. So that was good. Then, medical, they got to come to your door every day. So they was keeping me on my meds and all that. So all that was cool. The building my relationship with God is what made it the best part of my bid, as well as losing 80 pounds. That's why I say it was the best time and the worst time at the exact same time. Trying to make sense out of that. That was beautiful for me. But they sent me on up to Rochester, Minnesota. Actually, I had to go through Transit Center. Where's that? Oklahoma. I had to go to Oklahoma. Go through there. Spent 4 weeks in there. 3 weeks in there. 3 or 4 weeks. I spent that in there. That was just like being in the shoe. Same thing. Being the pandemic was going on, you only got 45 minutes a day to get out. So in that 45 minutes, you had to use the phone, clean your room, take a shower, get on the computer, get to change your clothes, watch TV. That was it. That was like the only option, the things you had to do. So you only had 45, and using the phone, each phone call is 10 minutes. Then you got to wait 10 minutes before you can get back on the phone. So if you just stand in the phone line all day, you're going to get 10-minute phone call, then 20 minutes. Then you get back on for another 10 minutes, that's 30 minutes. Then you got to wait another 10 minutes, and you get back on for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it was like you got to pick your poison of what you want to do today. The phone, definitely the first thing you want to do. But so, all right, this day you might clean the room. The next day you celly clean the room. That way you can hit the computer. You can, whatever, figure it out like that. Then they sent me up to Rochester, Minnesota. They was on lockdown up there because of the pandemic. So I stayed 30 days in there in quarantine the whole time. Then they bumped my medical, my care level up to care level 4. Talking about I had chronic kidney disease and all of this and kidney failure. I'm like, what? All this time, I done all this. I've been in Terre Haute from 2014 all the way to 2020. Now y'all bumping me all the way up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand that. They shot me back down to Oklahoma after spending 30 days in they quarantine. Then they shoot me back down to Oklahoma. I spent another 2.5 weeks there. Then they sent me to Rochester, Minnesota. Springfield, Missouri. Then that's where I finished up at down there. So I had a bunch of good brothers down there. Brother Jay. I'm talking about Brother Jay. Hey, that's one thing about prison. You're going to meet some good dudes. You're going to meet some intelligent dudes. You're going to meet the most creative and resourceful dudes you ever met in your life if you have to go to prison, man. Because I've met the most resourceful dudes. I'm like, man, ain't no way y'all boys have figured out how to do this. But yeah, Brother Jay, he was the most knowledgeable person I ever met that knows the Bible. And that's saying a lot because my pastor, Pastor Larry, of Family Victory Fellowship in Southfield, Michigan. He is like a beast. So for me to say Brother Jay is colder than him, probably because I spent more time in close proximity with Jay that I'm saying that, but he on that level, for real. Brother Jay, man, love you, bro. I pray you get out of there as God has told you. And I'm still standing in agreement with you, and I believe it, and you will get out of there. In Jesus' name, we praying on that. We believe in that, and we are expecting to see that promise manifest. Of course, my brother Judah just called me today too, man. Made a mistake and hit the wrong doggone button. I was hoping he called back, but he probably thought I was busy or something, but I wasn't. I just hit the wrong button by mistake. Because I was cutting the grass at the same time I was answering the phone. Met Bush Jones down there. He old school Detroit legend. A lot of brothers love him. A lot of brothers, disagree with things he had to do for his life. But I don't got a heaven or hell to throw nobody in, so I ain't holding it against him. I rock with him. He cool. My main man, Tom, Big Mark, Evans and Evans, baby. Evans and Ellis. They're my dudes right there, man. For real. Big Mark, Tom, Lil James, K4. My dude, Money Mike. Mr. Harris. Man, Mickey Mouse built the house. Yeah. Got a dog named Goofy. But inside joke, man. Too funny. But yeah, it's a bunch of good dudes in there too, man. Bunch of good dudes, man. Shot a lot of pool in there. Shout out to the RDAP specialist team, man. The drug treatment specialist. Doc and Sakuda, Miss Cox. Hey, salute Miss Cox. That's one of the realest administration people. I can't even say woman. People I've ever came across in my whole time of doing a bid. That's one person who was actually for the inmate. She wanted to see you get out of there. She did everything in her power to make sure you got what you had coming. Or it's good time off. Programming time, anything she can do to help you get home, she was on that. She was on that, Miss Cox. Big salute to you on everything. For real, she retired while I was there. Miss Mosley too. Miss Mosley, real good people too. And Doc, that's my dog. She like family. That's the first administration person I ever felt like family. She was another one that made sure you got what you had coming and got us up out of there. And I appreciate you, Doc, for that. And everything that you was installing in us through the RDAP program. It's a drug treatment program, RDAP. It's an acronym, Residential Drug and Alcohol Program. It was real good to me. A lot of people, they just think, a lot of dudes in there faking it just get the time off or whatever. But to me, it was very beneficial because it challenged your thinking. And I think thinking is the key component to overcoming anything. But specifically for that aspect, addiction, to overcome addiction. You know what I mean? So it's all about your thinking about the addiction that you have. You change your way of thinking, you definitely can change your approach, the way you feel about it, the way you view it. You would change everything. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely can. It should have been more of a cognitive program versus a doggone drug treatment program. But anyway, man. Yeah, man. I just wanted to come on here and I don't know how I got to all of that, but I was just saying how I made a transition in my life, you know what I'm saying, from being a gangbanger, drug dealer for what I was doing my time for, you know what I'm saying? Drug and alcohol user. Out of all of those things, I'm talking about hypocrite. I've been a lot of things, man, and prison has helped me make the transition. Now, I say help because I started my transition before I went to prison. I had already, me and my wife was trying to get pregnant, trying to have a child. And one day I was sitting there listening to my music, because I'm a rap artist. I was listening to my music, and I'm like thinking about my child at the same time. And I'm fantasizing riding in the car with my son, playing my music, and looking over and we singing it together. And I don't know what line, I don't even remember what song I'm listening to, but it was one of the lines. I'm like, whoa, I can't share this with my child. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't install this into him. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, he can't hear this. He can't sing this. So that right there, I'm like, dang, how can I have a passion of mine that I've been holding on to forever? I've been rapping since the 6th grade, Brooks Middle School, Mr. Mathis class, for those who know. And I can't share this with my own child. So therefore, that's when I started making the transition. And then, because I was already in church, I was an usher at church before I left. I was an usher in church. I went to jail in 2014. I think I joined the usher board maybe 2011 or 2010 maybe. 2010 or 2011. So I was already working on myself, you know what I mean? So, like I say, God, he would nudge some people and they would get the message. Some of us, we got to get a slap across the head and the backside. And it takes a lot more for some of us to give our undivided attention to God. So he has to use different measures to get our attention and draw us near to him. So that prison was one that drew me nearer to him. So he had to use that for me. So prison was a big instrument that helped me to make the transition in my life to where, all right, now I'm trying not to ever be involved in a criminal lifestyle again. I'm not drugging. I try to keep from using profanity, but I cuss like a sailor. So I'm still working on that. I'm still working on drinking. I had went all that time in jail without drinking. Well, no, I'm lying. I was drinking in jail the first year or so when I got there. 2 years, because I remember getting drunk for my birthday 2 years in a row and had a hangover in the visiting room. So for 2 years, then I finally said, hey, listen, I'm through. Got back in the church heavy because I was an usher once. I kept that going. Once I got in prison, I became an usher. I joined the usher board in jail as well. So I did that, you know what I'm saying? I forgot the point I'm making, but I've been erasing some of the vices out of my life, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still a work in progress. I'm still being molded. I'm still on the potter's wheel. I am still trying to find my purpose, and this may be it. So this is why I'm taking the advice from my nephew, filmed by Miyagi, filmed by Miyagi, my nephew Deezy. You know what I'm saying? Go check him out. Filmed by Miyagi, YouTube channel. I need to put his link in the bio for y'all too, because he is the instrument that God used to have me make this post for the very first time. And like I said, I'm just really shooting my shot, man. Shooting my shot and hoping that this is God, because he told me this a while ago. Then he came back again, telling me the same thing again. Go ahead, start a page. Get you some subscribers, man. And you got a lot to talk about, a lot to share, a lot of testimonies that can help people. So hopefully I will be helping some of y'all with these things. I can talk about some of my experiences and my testimonies. And if so, then stay tapped in. If not, keep it scrolling. No love lost, no harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? I know how it goes because I view some people's pages too, and if it don't interest me, then I keep it moving. But yeah, man. All right. Leave comments below, man. Anything you want to talk about, let's talk about it. If anything that I may have talked about that has helped you, praise God, glory to God. It was not a mistake that you pressed play. So stay tuned, stay tapped in, subscribe. All right. God bless y'all. One.